Hello and welcome to Life at Home. I'm Abby, and today we have a 30-minute yoga Pilates fusion class. So we're going to be incorporating some fun Pilates moves into our flow, and it's going to give you a nice yoga sculpt type workout. So go ahead, hop on your mat, and let's get started. All right, we're going to begin in child's pose. So coming to the middle or back of your mat, bringing the knees almost as wide as the mat. Nice tall spine here, and then we'll begin to walk the hands forward. Beginning to drop the forehead down to the earth. Settling in here, landing in this moment. Knowing that just as you are in this moment is enough. All the movement to come is just an added bonus. You showed up, you're here. That's sometimes the hardest part. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale, let it go. If you're ever feeling overheated during class, you can find a nice inhale through the nose and then exhale through the mouth to release some heat. And if you'd like to begin to build some internal heat, you can inhale through the nose, seal the lips, and exhale through the nose for our Ujjayi yoga breath. 2 more breaths here in child's pose. And then from here, we'll slowly begin to rise up, coming into tabletop, flowing through a little cat-cow just to warm up the spine. Inhale, dropping the belly towards the earth. Exhale, push the mat away. Puff up through the shoulders. And we're going to get right into it today. So taking any last organic movement here in your tabletop as we prepare for our bird dog. We're going to inhale the left leg back and the right arm forward. So really reaching forward almost as if you're shaking someone's hand. And then we want to dial the left toes down towards the mat. Finding length here. And then exhale, we're going to bring the knee to the elbow. Thinking just like how we did in cat-cow, pushing the mat away with the left hand. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. One more like that. Extend. Now we're going to come into awkward airplane. So we're going to bring both the arm and the leg out to the side, keeping as much length as you can. Come back to center. Extend out. We'll do one more like that. Engaging through the core for some stability. Back to center. Drop both hands down to the earth, and we're going to find some yoga push-ups here. So keeping the right knee planted on the earth, left leg extended, we're going to come down into chaturanga arms. Chest maybe touches the earth. Come up. And then we're going to come into that little bird dog motion with the knee, bringing it into the chest. Extend and push up. So just flowing here, we'll do 5 of these, so just at your own pace. Using the breath to guide you. Last one here, extend. And then we're gonna rotate the toes to be off the mat and come into a modified side plank here. You can keep those left toes planted on the earth, or maybe you extend them up. And then from here, we're gonna kick the leg forward. Foot is flexed, extend. So you're probably feeling those glutes turn on here. Really wanna lengthen up through the core. One more like this. Back to center, and then we'll just find a few little leg circles. Forward and back. Really burning out those glutes. And let it go. Come back to tabletop. Nice job. Option to flow through a little cat-cow here to neutralize the spine. And we'll meet back in neutral tabletop. This time we're going to extend the right leg back, left arm forward, finding our bird dog. Again, flexing that back foot, rotating the toes down towards the earth. Trying to relax the shoulders away from the ears as we find length. And then exhale, knee to elbow, push the mat away. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lengthen. Last time here. Extend, coming into our awkward airplane. And yes, that is the technical term. Awkward airplane. Come back to center. Extend out. Breathing here, last time. Bringing both hands down to the earth, keeping that right leg extended. We're gonna pulse up and then exhale down. Push up, knee to nose. Lengthen. Knee to nose. Lengthen. Push up. Two more like that. Breathing here. Last one. And then we're going to rotate over to the other side of the mat, reaching the arm up, extending the leg, and then kick forward, extend. Kick forward, extend. Last time. And then we'll just find those little circles with the foot, forward, and then back. Burning out the glutes. And exhale, let it go. Nice job. From here, we're going to transition to downward facing dog. So if you'd like to take a sip of water, I will meet you there when you're ready. Tucking the toes, sending the hips up and back. Breathing here, pedaling out the dog, letting the heart rate come down just a little bit. And then from here, we'll begin to take a slow walk, tiptoeing to the top of the mat. Pausing here in ragdoll, grabbing opposite elbows, finding a slight bend in the knees. Maybe you sway side to side, releasing the back of the neck. Option for shoulder bends here, interlacing the fingers. Slowly release, and then we'll begin to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Rolling the shoulders up, back, and away. Pausing here in mountain pose. Keeping that slight bend in the knees. Maybe you close the eyes, soften the gaze. Maybe setting an intention for the rest of our time together. Maybe that intention is to just be present on your mat. Giving yourself grace. We'll inhale the arms up, high prayer. Exhale, forward fold. And then we're going to sink the booty down, come all the way down to our backs. Preparing for some dead bugs here. Finding reverse tabletop with the legs. Both arms come up. And then similar to how we did in bird dog, but this time we're just reversed on our back, we're going to extend the left leg, right arm out, come to center. Left arm, right leg. And just alternating here, trying to keep the low back on the earth as best you can. Option to rest the head down, or you can lift the head up to make it a little more challenging, a little bit more core focused. We'll do 2 more each side. Remembering to breathe here. Trying to keep those knees over the hips. Last one here. Back to center. We'll squeeze both knees into the chest. Give yourself a little hug. And then we're going to extend the right leg out and down all the way to the mat. Right arm, right leg comes up, and you can rest the head down. And we're going to find some leg circles here. So sending the right foot to the left side of the mat. Your arms can come out to a T here for a little bit more stability. We're going to find some big leg circles. We're going to do 3 in each direction. So engaging the core here, trying not to rock and wobble. Once you do 3, we'll switch directions. Feeling the strength and length in the inner thigh. I like to point my toes here in this particular movement. Come back to center, squeeze the knee in, and then we'll switch it out. Left knee comes into the chest, extend up, arms can come out to a T, toes reach for the right side of the earth, coming into those leg circles. Finding 3 in one direction, and then we'll switch sides. You can kind of externally rotate here as we come out to the left side. Then we'll squeeze that knee back into the chest, bringing both knees in. Giving yourself a little hug, and then from here we're going to transition into a little teaser, so almost like a rock and roll style. We're going to begin to rock and roll up and down the length of the mat, and then meet in boat pose. Nice proud chest here, coming back down, and then trying not to use a ton of momentum, but more so your core coming back up. Breathing here, back down. We'll do 2 more like that, coming up. Option to keep the knees bent or maybe even on the earth, if that feels better. Coming back down. Last time here. And then exhale, we're gonna extend everything and lower all the way down back to the earth. From here, we're gonna roll over onto either side, it doesn't matter, we're gonna do both sides. Keeping the legs extended out, we're gonna find some leg circles here. So similar to how we did on our back, we're gonna extend the leg forward, finding some mid-size circles here. Trying to kind of push the mat away with that bottom elbow. Tendency here is to kind of sink into the shoulder, but we really want to find length here, keeping this an active posture. And we'll go ahead and switch directions if you haven't already. Really feeling that burn in the top glute. Breathing here. 2 more circles. You got this. And back to center. From here, we're gonna bend the knees, coming into some bridging clamshells. So making sure the feet are stacked on top of one another. Option to bring the top arm behind the head. We're gonna inhale the hips up, open, and exhale, come down. Inhale, lengthen. And just finding your own rhythm here. Again, trying to push the mat away with that bottom elbow. Extend and open. We'll do 3 more like this. And slowly coming back down. From here, we're gonna come into a plank, so kind of rolling through center. And then for you, you're gonna come all the way onto the other side. I'm gonna switcheroo here so I can continue to face you. And we'll find those same postures on the other side. So maybe your left leg, your right leg is extended this time on top, going for those mid-sized circles. I was kind of loving that AC for a second. Then he just had to cut it off. Yep. Beauty is pain. You can kind of play here if you prefer to have the toes completely pointed, or maybe more like a midpoint. Switch directions. Everyone's bodies are different, so I don't like to cue for the feet too much. We'll do 3 more circles. Really burning. And then exhale, release. Bending the knees, reaching that top arm behind the head. We'll lift the hips up and then open for clamshell. Breathing here. Trying to create a lot of space underneath that bottom hip. We'll do 2 more. And exhale, release. Coming into our plank. Forearm plank here. And we'll just pause here for a second. Tucking the hips under, engaging through the glutes. Trying to scrunch up the mat beneath you. Sending the energy of the elbows towards the feet. And then we'll find some plank marches here. So coming up onto the left hand and the right. And then coming down to the right elbow and then the left. Breathing here. I personally hate these, so I don't really know what I was thinking programming this, but sometimes you need to do the things you hate to get stronger. Two more here. And then we'll press it back. Downward facing dog, nice job. Pausing. Here in downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet, catching your breath. And then from here, we're gonna transition into a plank. And then exhale, send the hips up, tap the left foot to the right ankle, and plank. So just coming into some alternating ankle taps here. Some active recovery. Option, just shorten your downward dog stance a little bit. Every time we come through plank, finding your strong plank, engaging the glutes and the core. 2 more each side. Maybe looking up underneath that arm for some more length. And then slowly coming back to plank. We're going to bend the knees, coming into hovering tabletop or bear plank. Last little bit of work here. Breathing. Trying to resist the urge to drop the knees to the mat. Coming back to your intention. And slowly release, press it back, child's pose. Nice job. Letting the heart rate come down a little bit. And then we'll slowly transition back to our backs, however you'd like to get there. Coming into our bridge series, reaching the arms forward, rolling down, one vertebrae at a time. Maybe you windshield wiper the knees a little bit, back and forth for some release. Little massage in the glutes after all of those leg circles. And then making sure the knees are bent here. We're gonna extend the right leg up. Always option to keep it in more of a reverse tabletop position. Hands can come out beside you or maybe out long like a T. We're gonna send the hips up, maybe snuggle the shoulders underneath a little bit for some more length. And then exhale, tap the glutes down and then send the hips back up with that leg extended. Every time we come up, squeezing the glutes. I find it helpful here to imagine you're pulling your heel towards your body. That can sometimes help activate the glute a little bit, sending your mind to the muscle. 3 more here. We're doing 10 each side. And exhale, release. Shake it out, maybe give yourself a little squeeze. And then we'll switch sides. Left leg extends up. Send the hips up towards the sky. Snuggle those shoulders underneath. Finding length here, and then exhale, tap. Breathing here. Leaning into sensation and adjusting as you need to. Three more. And exhale, release. Give yourself a hug. And we'll begin to rock and roll up and down the length of your mat. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Preparing for just a little bit more work here before we land completely on the mat. Meeting in downward facing dog, we're gonna walk the hands back towards the feet. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, squat here. So sending the booty down, trying to rip the mat apart with the feet. Inhale, up and back down. We'll find 5 squats here. Squeezing those glutes at the top. Hands can come to heart center. Last one. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Walk the hands out to plank. And back up. Inhale, high prayer. Hands come behind the head. We're gonna find some little side crunches here. Knee to elbow. We'll do 3 each side. And then we're gonna roll back down, walk it out to plank. Pause here, option maybe for a push-up. Walk the hands back towards the feet. Inhale, high prayer. Hands come behind the head. You know where we're going. Knee to elbow. Inhale, high prayer. Exhale, forward fold. Walk it out. Maybe you push up. Walk it back. Last time here. High prayer. Hands come behind the head. Knee to elbow. Nice job. High prayer. Exhale, forward fold. Walk it out. Last option here, maybe you flow through a vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then we'll send the hips back. Child's pose, just to recover here. And then we'll slowly make our way back to our backs. We are on the mat for the rest of class, I promise. Rolling all the way down. Bringing both knees into the chest. Giving yourself a hug. And we're gonna find some alternating, I don't even know what these are called, maybe like little bicycles. Squeezing the knee, extending the leg out. Maybe you tap the heel down and then lift it. Trying to keep some nice space here between your chin and your chest. Last little bit of work here. You got this. 3, 2, 1. You can keep whatever knee you have towards your chest there. And we're gonna reach for either the ankle, the outer blade of the foot, or the big toe. Coming into half happy baby here. Finding some nice release in that inner thigh. We did a lot of work there today. And maybe here you switch your grip to your big toe and extend that leg out as best you can. Option to put a block underneath that foot. And then we want to keep the left glute or whatever glute is down on the earth. And then from here we'll come back through half happy baby and then coming through supine spinal twist. So looking over towards the other side, wringing out the spine, maybe extending the opposite arm out. Breathing here, honoring your efforts. Coming back to center, giving that knee a little squeeze, and then we'll switch it out. Reaching for the outer blade of your other foot. Coming into our half happy baby. Maybe you close the eyes here and just notice how the body feels after a pretty rigorous yoga Pilates fusion class. Probably more emphasis on the Pilates there. Just threw in a few child's pose for you. We'll reach for the big toe, extend the leg out. Opening up through the inner thigh. Trying to keep both glutes planted on the mat. And then we'll come back through happy baby, send the leg over for supine spinal twist. Trying to keep that shoulder down. Breathing here. And then we'll come back to center, squeeze both knees into the chest, give yourself a hug, thank yourself for showing up today. And then exhale, release everything down to the mat. Option to come into reclined butterfly, bringing the soles of the feet together. Or you can come into corpse pose, shavasana. Just for our last few moments of class here, letting everything go. Maybe coming back to your intention. Breathing. You're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. But if you'd like to move on with the rest of your day, you can close your legs like a book. Give yourself one last hug, and then we'll come all the way up to a seat. Rolling the shoulders up, back, and away from the ears. Palms reach up, high prayer, gathering in all of the strong energy from our practice and sealing it down into heart center. Thank you guys so much for showing up and practicing with me. I'll see you next time.